Do you know what risk assessment is?
No.
Do you know what risk assessment is?
I eat children.
Do you know what risk assessment is?
Yes.
What's risk assessment?
I don't know.
What is a risk?
By looking at what's going on and what your chances are that there is a problem. You're assessing the risk.
Oh.
A risk assessment is taking the available information that you have and deciding if the risk is greater than the reward. Everything you do,
Apple.
like taking the risk of putting something in front of my camera, might result in a spanking, is a risk. Stop. So, the point behind a risk assessment, Miss, I have stickers on my face, is you have to think about how is this going to affect me and those around me, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
So,
So apple.
everything you do, you have to decide. Stop. Is this going to hurt me? Is this going to hurt those around me? Is it going to put me in danger? Or is it going to put other people in danger? Those are your number one priorities, right?
Maybe.
Is this thing... You guys so are not helping this video. Is this thing going to hurt me, hurt somebody else, or lead to serious injury, death, loss of property, or life? That is risk assessment.
Okay.
If there is a small possibility, even a small one, that is a risk. And you have to decide whether or not that risk is worth taking.
Yes.
Now, the other part of risk assessment is generally you have multiple options. A, B, and C. And each one has their own risk. So, you have to decide which option is the best one. Like, what did we do last weekend?
Survived a hurricane accident.
We went to prepper camp. Did we know about this hurricane before we went to prepper camp?
Yeah.
Yeah. But we did risk assessment, right?
No.
Yes. Mommy did.
Oh.
Of course Mommy did. And Mommy talked to Papa about it too.
I don't. I just.
We knew there was going to be a hurricane. Hurricanes normally don't go that far inland as hurricanes. They usually end up being tropical storms and breaking up, right?
Mm-hmm.
If all the weather is saying all it's going to be is remnants and tropical storm by the time it gets to the mountain, is that a big risk?
No.
No. So, based on those risks, we went where?
To the mountain.
To the mountains. About halfway to the mountains. What did we have to go through? You remember what we drove through? Water in the streets.
Oh yeah.
What did that mean?
Flooding.
There was flooding. Now, as we were dealing with that flooding was when I was getting phone calls and messages about things being canceled, right? Yep. So we stopped.
Papa.
We reevaluated, reassessed the risk, right?
You can have it.
At that point in time, we were still expecting tropical storm, right? Still expecting tropical storm. My thingy's not working now. So, it was either push forward through the mountains and go deal with the tropical storm, or turn around and go through what?
More flooding.
Flooding. That's a risk assessment. Which one would have been a more immediate risk?
Turning around.
Turning around into flooding waters, into flooding streets that we knew were going to be a problem. Why? Because flooding is an immediate risk of death. Not just injury, but death. So that's a risk assessment. The risk was
Hey!
him being a button. The risk was push forward into... Risk was push forward into known problems of high winds, or go backwards into flooding and even worse risks. That's a risk assessment. Everybody is capable of making a risk assessment. You do it on a regular basis, even when you're doing your homework. Because choosing not to do your homework, what happens?
I fail.
That's a risk, right?
I always did that.
Choosing to jump off the playground equipment, what might happen?
Nothing.
You might get hurt. That's a risk. Choosing not to tie your shoes could cause you to trip, so we tie our shoes. It's all risk assessment. Every day is risk assessment. It's a part of life whether you realize it or not, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't do the laundry, you run the risk of having
No clothes.
no clothes to wear, so you go naked. Ha ha.
Where are my dirty clothes?
Oh, you know, because you're gross.
One time I had to wear a pair of dirty socks because he went to do the laundry.
That's better than dirty.
It's not my fault that you don't have don't have clean socks because you don't put them in the laundry basket.
Oh, I wore dirty underwear one time.
Oh, nobody needs to know that information. So everything has risk, right, Chase?
Uh-huh.
So we have to decide between whether or not the risk of something going wrong outweighs the reward, right?
I'm proud.
We do that with everything, right? You guys, like, don't, you're crazy.
I'm a cow.
I noticed. Well, this video was a failure.
Oh well.
You're making risk.
And I'm gonna turn around and post it
Okay.
later.
I was joking when I said I eat children.
Yeah. I know that. Not sure if YouTube knows that.
I'm not a cannibal.
But you have fuzzy cows.
Yeah.
Baby steak, do, baby steak. Ruined my video.